Yes, people, what is going on? Albania 0, England 2. A match reaction that look, it's from a new setup. That's nice and positive. England win, nice and positive. Money Mace gets on the scoreboard, nice and positive. You'd think it was just an all-round good day in the office, just in general. And I don't know, look, the main thing in these things is just get the result. Get the result. That's what matters. You winning games, it's not ideal and whatever in terms of how you play, but 3 points is really what matters. So I can deal with it a bit more, but look, I just wanted a bit more oomph. Do you know what I mean? Just a little bit more, go for it. And I kind of felt we just lacked it. I really did feel that we just lacked it. And I'm not quite sure what exactly, you could put your finger on many things. You could turn around and go, oh yeah, it's that, or it's definitely that. And I think it's a little bit more kind of open for debate in terms of this game. I understand the criticism that comes with being a manager. I think a lot of people will be very quick, well, it's Gareth Southgate. It must be Gareth Southgate. He's useless because he's English and he's this and that and the other. And do I think Gareth Southgate is the most tactical genius in the world? No. But do I think that in terms of international football, there is a lot of them out there? No. It just depends on what you want. And I know very often Southgate gets criticism and people say that we could go and get Jose in when he's done at Spurs, or Arsene Wenger's doing nothing, basically. And you can get these kind of bigger name managers, but that doesn't really tend to happen at international football. You get the odd few that do come in, but in terms of the top game, it very rarely happens. So I'm very open for just kind of going with Gareth Southgate and seeing what happens. And in terms of qualifying for the World Cup in 2022, I mean, we're off to a perfect start. Fantastic. And in terms of the tournament that's coming up in the summer, the Euros, we've got to go in with Gareth Southgate. That's the bottom line, because we're not going to replace him now and have a completely different team. It makes no sense. But I think a lot of people will be very quick to probably criticise Gareth Southgate again today, and I do think part of it is to do with him, but I also do think that certain players really let England down today. I'll come on to that in a little moment. Let's go through the goals quickly. It is Harry Kane that gets us 1-0 up, and it's absolutely sublime cross. It's a lovely little bit of football, and then it's an absolutely gorgeous cross from, I don't know, I was going to say he's my man of the match. I don't necessarily know I'd agree with that, but he definitely deserves to be a lot of credit go his way. Luke Shaw, the ball in is absolutely superb. It was it was almost like a corridor of uncertainty. Harry Kane just attacks it. Does very well, to be fair, to attack it, but the ball is on absolute plate. The keeper can't deal with it. Two or centre halves can't deal with it, and then whoever marking Kane just can't do anything. So it's a really nice ball in, and although Harry Kane does head it in, for me the goal is made completely by Luke Shaw. It's just an absolutely superb ball in. Now, I had a kind of little spat on Twitter because I was saying about Harry Kane and how he plays for England and whatever. I'll come on to that in a moment. But the second goal is got by Mason Mount. Harry Kane actually gets the assist. He plays the ball through, and it's just a lovely little dink from Mason Mount, just over the far side of the goal. It's just a comfortable finish. It's nice. Main thing for me about Mason Mount, obviously, if you don't know, I'm a Chelsea fan. I love Mason Mount. I think he's superb. He's not the finished article yet, of course not, and I'd be an idiot to say that he is, but he's getting there. He really is, and he's doing that. I think it's his 7th, 8th, 9th game for England, and he scored 4 goals for us already. He got an assist against San Marino. He's probably been our best player for the last 2 games, and he only played first half of the last game as well. So a lot of people are debating whether he's going to go or not go. He's going. He's going to go at the Euros. Don't get confused about that. It's just whether he's going to be in the starting 11 or not. That's still up for debate, and that's something that I'm really interested in seeing. Let's talk about Harry Kane, because he did get the assist. He did get the goal, the first goal, and then the assist for the second goal. But Harry Kane and Sterling, both of the two. I don't want to just only criticise Harry Kane. Now, I said, for me, and on my Twitter, if you don't follow me, it's TheCraigo28 on Twitter. Have a couple of interactions, have a good laugh. I said that I don't necessarily think that Kane is an absolute shoo-in to start for England. Now, he will start. He's captain. Of course he bloody will. But some of the performances I've seen from the last few years, or over the last year for Kane, haven't been wonderful. They haven't really wowed me. And again, it's going to take a hell of a lot for him to be dropped, and I don't think he will be. But I really would like to see how a player like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, given a couple more opportunities, could potentially play better than Kane and might actually offer a bit more to the team. Because I said that he's a tapping and penalty merchant, which is probably a little bit harsh. But, I mean, there's so much going on with the England team, and we don't move the ball that well when we go forward. Now, it's very good that we can keep clean sheets at the moment. I think it's something like 7 games in our last 9 we've kept clean sheets, which is great. However, the teams that we're playing in those games are not the ones we're going to be playing at the tournament. So you do have to put a little bit more pressure on the centre forwards. Harry Kane has scored some goals. He hasn't scored for 500 days for England. I know we've had a, C word and whatever, but you'd still like to see a little bit more. For me, anyway, I'd like to see a little bit more. He obviously gets on the score sheet. I can't fault him for that today. But there was a few times where he's dropping back really deep and it's kind of, he's in this nice position and he's doing a little bit of link-up play further back. But what's he costing where I'm actually going forward? There was one classic example. He was 14 yards behind really where he should have been, which is on the edge of the box, waiting for the header or waiting for the little chip ball into the box to tap it home. And we kind of missed that. And the same thing with Sterling is I kind of struggle to see where he is playing quite often. Now, he's meant to be playing left wing, but he'll end up on the right-hand side and down the middle, and he'll do all sorts of different things. And I just don't quite get what we're trying to go for. And look, I mean, for me, I think it looks like a false nine with Mason Mount playing just in behind. That's what I think. But then you're pushing Kane, who's meant to be the best centre-forward in the world, out to the right-hand side, and Sterling's out on the left. And it just looks very confused and muddled for me. And it's not necessarily saying that Sterling can't do it, but again, the main thing I want to say, just because obviously we are going into a major tournament, as much as I like Sterling, I like Kane, of course I do. They're great players, but is there potentially someone else that we could get in that could actually do that job better? That's what I want. That's the question that I want to ask. Is because obviously the main one a lot of people are talking about is Jack Grealish. Now people seem to think it can only be Foden, Mount, Grealish or Maddison that gets into the team, gets into the starting 11. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Is there a chance, again, he's got to pick up his game because he's been injured and whatever, but is there a chance that Jack Grealish ends up playing left wing ahead of Raheem Sterling? Probably, no. But maybe that's an argument that should be being had. It should be done purely on performances. And in terms of England performances, Sterling and Kane don't necessarily do it as much as they have done it previously. Now, again, it's going to take a hell of a lot for them both to be dropped. I don't think either of them are going to be dropped. But you're getting these people that are starting to kind of come in. And the ones that really kind of stood out today, and for me anyway, Luke Shaw, again, with a fantastic ball. He's a fringe player. He's only just come back into the team. Mason Mount, people are saying that he don't even deserve to go to the Euros. There's all sorts of different things. And the ones that kind of almost let us down to a certain degree is Stones and Maguire both made mistakes at the back. Didn't cost us, thank God. There was to be fair, Mason Mount did make one mistake early on where they had their chance, just blazed it over the bar. He gave the ball away. But Harry Kane missed one at the back post and he hits the bar. Raheem Sterling just threw a leg and just swung a leg at a chance earlier on as well. I don't think it's perfect. That's the only thing I would say. And again, we've got Poland coming up on Wednesday. Lewandowski gets the ball, it's 1-0. That's basically how the game goes. And if that's the level of clinicalness that England want to be at, I don't necessarily see it with Kane or Sterling. And again, there's a few players, maybe I'm just singling those two out for this particular video, but they're the ones that I kind of saw today. They're the ones that are freshest in my mind. There will be a few. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments about England. I didn't think it was wonderful. I didn't do a review for the San Marino game because obviously we bossed it. There wasn't a lot to talk about really. But clinicalness is a big thing. Maybe we played some different players, a little bit more kind of fluidity or whatever. I don't know, but I just kind of felt at multiple times today England were quite disjointed. And if that happens in the World Cup, in the Euros or the World Cup either, to be fair, England could get found out. And I don't think this Euros should be the focus for us. I don't think this is a tournament we're going to go and win it and step up to the next level because we've got a very young squad. But this is a perfect opportunity for us to get vital experience, especially going later into the competition as well. Don't think we're going to win it, but if we can get to the quarterfinal, semi-final should be, for me, the standard that we aim to get for, then you're going to make these learning experiences. So I'm looking forward to it. It's probably going to be a heartbreak for England at the Euros. It very often is. But yeah, no, I just want to see a little bit more. Again, the clinicalness is a big thing. It's almost like watching Chelsea. I just felt it was very slow. And with maybe Harry Kane dropping out, maybe a little bit of pace, Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Ollie Watkins or Rashford, of course, when he's not injured. Maybe that spice up the game a little bit. Maybe it makes it a little bit more interesting and makes England a bit more of a threat. But there we are. Hey, that's just my opinion.